It's Levack and Goss on 104.5 The Team.
Very cool, as we always like to check in with the president of the Baseball Hall of Fame, Jeff Idelson. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Jeff. How are you and Tom doing?
Fantastic, and it's always nice to talk to a president that everybody likes. I love when Jeff goes quiet. You know, that's
very smart. Yeah. It's a political move right there. That's right.
You've got an amazing induction coming up. It's the largest class, 6 players. What is this, in like 50 years, Jeff?
Yeah. Last time we had 6 was 2014, but that included 3 managers. Last time we've had 6 players, 1971, long time ago.
Wow. This is an exciting class. Run through who you're most excited about.
Honestly, I'm excited about all 6 of them because I feel like I watched all of them play a lot, and all 6 guys bring different skill sets to the table. But you think of Jim Thome, you think of 22 seasons, one of only 9 guys with 600 home runs. Just your ultimate power hitter with a great eye. And Chipper Jones, the second #1 pick in the country to make the Hall of Fame, Ken Griffey Jr. being the other, being the ultimate switch hitter, reminds me a lot of Mickey Mantle. You got Vladdy Guerrero, who, there wasn't a ball he didn't like. He could hit it off a tee almost if you wanted, or one that hit the ground and bounced onto the plate. And just a cannon of an arm. And, you think about him being an 8-time Silver Slugger. He hit better than 313 different times. And, then you go to, of course, Trevor, and you think of Hell's Bells in San Diego and his 600-plus saves and everything he brought. And then you go back in time to the 80s, and you got Jack Morris and Alan Trammell, who played together for 14 seasons and dominated in Detroit. So eclectic class, but a lot of star power, meaning it's going to be huge in Cooperstown this weekend.
Let's go through that weekend schedule for fans traveling into Cooperstown for the upcoming weekend. What are some of the list of events that are going to be taking place?
Well, events really start, the Hall of Famers are already arriving. I just left the Otisag, and, Robin Yount, Joe Morgan walked in. Bobby Cox is right behind him. So the guys are starting to come in. 58 Hall of Famers come into town in total, which is by far a record for us. Events start on Friday. Ozzie Smith has a little event he does where he raises money for the Hall of Fame, and you can learn some instructions from, him. And he's got, who does he have with him this year? He's got Jeff Bagwell, he's got Johnny Bench, and Tim Rance. What's that?
Well, we're listening. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. So you got that Friday. You got Saturday. These guys have a golf tournament, which is a lot of fun, and then we have our awards presentation at Doubleday Field in the afternoon. Bob Costas being honored. We'll take a look back at the year of the pitcher 50 years ago, and the mound being lowered. Sheldon Ocker from Cleveland. Plain Dealer also getting a nod. Parade down Main Street Saturday after the parade, after the award ceremony. You have this parade down Main Street. It dumps right into the Hall of Fame, where all the players are each in their own Ford F-150 pickup truck going down the street, so you can see them really good. And then, induction on Sunday. So lots of good stuff, and the weather's looking to be hopefully pretty good, so a good reason to come out.
President of the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame with us, Jeff Idelson on 104.5 The Team. What are you seeing? Like, I know every year you can kind of see who's invading the most. Like, what fan base is really starting to sneak in and take over Cooperstown?
Well, it's early yet. It is early yet, and I'm seeing some Philly shirts, which is it's been a while since we've had a Philly inducted, and I think these guys are excited about Thome, where he got his 400th home run. I'm expecting a lot of Clevelanders. Believe it or not, San Diego travels very well for their guys. They did for Dave Winfield and Tony Gwynn, so I think we'll see a sea of blue jerseys. And Chipper Jones is by far the most popular Brave I've ever seen, and we know that Atlanta travels, so. You throw in some Canadians from Montreal who come down for Vladdy, and Detroit hasn't had a full-time, full-fledged Hall of Famer since Al Kaline in '81, and that's within driving distance. So I think you're going to see, the United Colors of Benetton here all weekend long.
Besides not sleeping, what is the weekend like for you? Do you get time to breathe? And there's that one moment where you say, I got to make sure every year during Hall of Fame weekend, I got to do this to soak it in. Almost your Jeff Idelson tradition.
Yeah, it's good. It's a very good question, and I remind our staff, and I've been doing this so long. This is my 25th induction and 32 years in baseball overall, and it's a grind. I mean, it is definitely a grind, and I've run marathons, and marathons are a grind. This is pretty much 96 straight hours of grind. But I remind our staff that look, this is pretty cool, and try to step back, try to think about a couple of moments that enjoy you over the course of the 4 days, whether it's with a fan or a Hall of Famer or a major leaguer or anybody. And, for me, I live in town and I can make the walk into the Hall of Fame. So each morning I wake up and that alarm goes off after, 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and, you're pounding the coffee. But then walking into the Hall of Fame and Cooperstown in the morning, just before things are going to get rolling, is a time I take to reflect and be thankful for being a part of the greatest fraternity here on earth.
So it's not so like everybody who does like what we do, like with sports, there comes a point in our day where we're like, all right, listen, I'd rather talk about anything else. Just give me a minute. You hear it, you beam. You are still one of the biggest baseball fans on the planet.
Yeah, and I never lose sight of that. I mean, I've loved baseball since I was a little kid, and what I look at my role as a fan, but also, being involved with this organization is like, how do I get all these cool things I get to do? How do I share that with as many people as possible that love baseball like I do? And, that's what I try to think about throughout Hall of Fame weekend in the course of a year. But quite honestly, when Tuesday gets here next week, I'm not going to think about baseball for the rest of the week. That's not going to happen.
One whole week.
Jeff, over the course of the last few years, there's been a few adjustments when it comes to voting for the Hall of Fame. Some people who may have been on the committee before fall off a bit. And then, what social media advancing, we see more and more of the writers and the voters, their votes becoming public. Are there going to be any changes with the Hall of Fame voting process, or are you happy where it stands now?
Well, we're always taking a look at it. I mean, the most important thing we can do is try to be and stay relevant, as a museum. And, people forget we're a museum that sort of inserts ourselves into the middle of the conversation as best we can, where we can, and it makes sense. But, the voting, we made a few changes to the rules the last couple of years. I think that our staff feels like we're in good shape. I think our board feels the same way. The changes we've made have just underscored how difficult it should be to make the Hall of Fame while staying relevant. And, I think as that continues along and people still enjoy coming to inductions, and, we're in a renaissance now with crowds being just beyond huge for the last 4 or 5 years, and I see them being big for a number of years. We're doing things right. And the players have been engaging with the fans over the courses of their career, meaning when it's their time and they get inducted in the Hall of Fame, the fans are going to want to come back and say thank you, which is happening.
President of the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, Jeff Idelson, with us now. This year is nice, but next year is going to be a little different. I mean, I might need a place to stay, Jeff. You said you live close. When Enter Sandman fires up and Mariano Rivera runs into the Hall of Fame, it's going to be a big thing for us here in Yankee Land.
Oh, understandably so. I mean, I spent 5 years working for the Yankees, and I understand how much, Yankee players mean to the fans. And Mariano was an A-ball when I was at the Yankees. He was just cutting his teeth. In fact, the reason we signed him is he was a recommendation from his cousin who really couldn't hold a candle to him, but he did give us the world's greatest scouting report, Ruben Rivera. And, getting Mo into our system way back when he was a starter in A-ball. He actually blew his shoulder out and had surgery, I remember. I remember helping Buck Showalter write a letter to him because Buck was our manager back then, telling this kid to stay encouraged, stay positive. Buck was great that way. And, we're going to go from Hell's Bells to probably to Enter Sandman. And, you could have Edgar Martinez for an election next year, so you could have a Panamanian and a Puerto Rican, and it could be just a wonderful induction year. We'll look forward to that. Yeah, I have an extra bedroom. You can hang with me.
You are the best person on the planet.
Be careful, Jeff, because it's going to be Rivera in 2019 and Jeter 2020. So that
I might not leave. I might just be there for a whole year.
Come on down. You can broadcast from my house.
Wow, there you go. It's set. We'll call our program director now. We'll get it going. We'll see you in 2019, Jeff.
Jeff, all they just heard was, we can broadcast for free. Ask him for the Wi-Fi password. No, you guys always do a great job. The Hall of Fame is an amazing experience. It's one of the things I attribute my daughter starting to fall in love with baseball with when we went and toured the Hall of Fame. So definitely a trip worth taking. Not far at all from here.
Yeah, not far at all. And all that information Jeff just laid out there, we're going to put it all online for you, 1045theteam.com. All that information Jeff's laid out for us. We appreciate the time. We know it's super busy for you, and we can't wait to look forward to an awesome weekend at Cooperstown on Sunday.
Hey, thank you guys very much. And you're right. It's just a short jump and a hop from Cap Region. Come on down. The ceremony's outdoors, free of charge. Almost everything is outside and free of charge. So if you like any of these guys, you just want to experience, 58 of your favorite baseball cards coming to life, be in Cooperstown this weekend.
Oh, Jeff, I got to ask you, the bat store on Main Street where you can get your own name put on the bats? Do they have the American flag Bryce Harper bat? Because if they do, I might drive down tonight.
I don't know. I think you should call them and ask.
Right? But I'm just saying, like, that's how great the town is. So, all right, Jeff Idelson, we'll let you. You're obviously busy. We'll let you go to work.
See you, Jeff. Take care, man. Appreciate your time.
All right, gentlemen. Take care.
All right, there he is, Jeff Idelson. Man, what a great guy. The worst part is, I think if we hounded him a little bit, he actually would let us stay at the house.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
And already my mind's churning. I'm like, all right, we got training camp coming up later on in August. Here's our dates. Oh, man, 2019, we got to get to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, no, we're going to be there.
We'll figure something out. We'll make a road trip.
It's realistic that Mo and Pettit would be on that ballot. So, I mean, if that be the case, it's,
we might have to talk to our friends at Naira. Maybe we'll flop. We'll go Thursday at the track and Friday to Cooperstown. We'll see what we can do. See if we can make it happen.
Listen, there's got to be a way. We have the Naira Bets account, so we can still bet. Yeah. We got to figure that out.
We'll figure it out. We got a whole year to figure it out.
I'm just like, he said Hell's Bells or Trevor Hoffman. I'm listening there going, yeah, but Enter Sandman is the tune, Jeff. Wow. I can't. I mean, the Baseball Hall of Fame turns you into a little kid. And Cooperstown, like the press said, it's only, what is it, a little over an hour away, if even, depending upon how you drive. If you drive like Gaz, it might be like an hour and a half.
You'll be there on Tuesday if you drive like me.
Start going now. You might get there in time for Mo's induction. But it's also got like that old world charm to it, where you walk down Main Street and there's great places to eat and everybody's happy, and it's just a really cool thing to do. And if you're a baseball fan, you haven't been yet, I don't know what's wrong with you. What's coming up next?
Coming up in headlines, I got to get back to this Giants talk. You're scratching, clawing. You want more Odell Beckham Jr. talk? You had a theory you had about this whole thing.
I can see a way contract talks could break down very fast. Next.